This might be the craziest barbarian build you ever do. So let's jump into it. We are going to do level by level and a combat tutorial as well as items I would use for this build. So let's jump in, and we are starting with Barbarian. Reason being Rage and Unarmored Defense, which we probably won't be using. However, this will give us a Strength saving throw proficiency and a Constitution saving throw proficiency. Now for your ability points, you want something akin to this: 16 Strength, 14 Dexterity, 16 Constitution, 8 Intelligence, 10 Wisdom, and 10 Charisma. For your proficiencies, take whatever you feel like. From there, we're going to go Barbarian level 2. This gives us Danger Sense. So you sense when things aren't as they should be. You have advantage on Dexterity saving throws against traps, spells, and surfaces. To gain this benefit, you can't be blinded or incapacitated. It also gives us Reckless Attack, which means if we were to miss, we could recklessly attack, giving us advantage, so we have another roll. However, enemies would also get an advantage on attacks against us. And at level 3, Barbarian level 3. Now for this one, we are going with Wild Magic. So, Rage Wild Magic, gain resistance to physical damage and advantage on strength checks and saves, as well as a rage that releases all the magic rolling inside you, causes a random magical effect, very much just like a wild magic sorcerer. And magic awareness. Anyone within range adds their proficiency bonus to saving throws against spells. At level 4, we dip over to our first multi-class, and that is Paladin. This gives us Lay on Hands, so we can heal ourselves if choose to, with a healing, also with a Lay on Hands charge. It's a special class feature. As well as Divine Sense, advantage on attack rolls against Celestials, Fiends, and Undeads. Now from there, we are going to take Oath of Vengeance. Inquisitor's Might. You and allies' weapon attacks do an additional 1 radiant damage and can daze enemies for 1 turn. It's only 1 extra damage, but if they are weak to radiant, it's kind of helpful. And at level 2, we're sticking with Paladin. This gives us Divine Smite, an additional 1d8 radiant damage to Fiends and Undeads. And this works as a reaction and as a critical. For your fighting style, we're going to take Great Weapon Fighting. So when you roll a 1 or a 2 on a damage dice for an attack with a 2-handed melee weapon, that die is re-rolled once. And for spells, we're going to take Searing Smite, so we have a fire-based one, and we're going to take Thunderous Smite, so we have a thunder-based one. At level 6, we're going to jump back over to our Barbarian for our feat, and you've probably guessed it, Great Weapon Master. So when we land a critical hit, or kill a target with a melee weapon attack, we can make another melee weapon attack as a bonus action that turn. Attacks with melee weapons you're proficient with and are wielding in both hands can do an additional 10 damage at the cost of a -5 attack aim penalty, which means we take a -5 to our aim and have a solid +10 to our attack. It is at level 7 that we jump over to Cleric, our next multi-class. So we can jump in here, and for your cantrips, we're going to take any sort of utility-based spells. So for example, Resistance, Guidance, and instead of Sacred Flame, I would probably take something like Produce Flame. And for your subclass, we are going to do the War Priest. It gives us heavy armor proficiency and War Priest, which means we can expend a War Priest charge to make an additional attack as a bonus action. This counteracts our Barbarian ability, or sorry, Great Weapon Master ability, where if we don't kill an enemy, we can still spend a charge to deal it. We also get spells that we can keep, such as Divine Favour, so as a bonus action, Concentration, 1d4 Radiant, and Shield of Faith. Both we also get from the Paladin. And for a spell, I would take Guiding Bolt. At the next level, level 8 that would be, we're sticking with Cleric level 2, we get another Channel Divinity charge. We also get Turn Undead and Guided Strike. You get a +10 bonus to your attack roll. Really nice way if you have someone with high AC or a boss, using your Channel Divinity to do this, and Great Weapon Master, ensuring that you'll hit and deal as much damage as possible. And for a spell, honestly, kind of take anything, which is going to take Create or Destroy Water. At level 9, we're going to stick with Cleric for Cleric level 3, and for a spell here, I would personally take Hold Person. Just a really nice spell that allows you to keep people stuck, and then you can smack them as hard as you can. And we're going to take it to Cleric level 4 at level 10. Gives us access to another feat. But before that, we're going to take Light, and our ability score improvement to 18. And then for a spell here, we're just going to take Enhance Ability. And our final 2 levels are pumped into Barbarian, firstly for that extra attack. Now if you wanted to, you could take this earlier, instead of taking your War Cleric to level 4. The choice is really yours, do these in whatever order you feel like. And then finally, Barbarian level 6, an additional Rage Charge, as well as Bolstering Magic. So you and an ally receive a 1d4 bonus to attack rolls and ability checks, as well as Bolstering Magic spell slots. So we can recover a level 1 or level 2 spell slot using this ability. Okay, so that was our level by level guide. Now, in the early stages of the game, you're going to want to take the Luminous Armour and Gloves. That really buffs this build up. For late stage, this is the gear I'm using. Savarok's Horned Helmet. We get Dark Vision up to 3 meters or 15 if we already have it. More importantly, critical chance while attacking is reduced by 1. We also have Dauntless, so you can't be frightened, and Constitution saving throws +1. The Vivacious Cloak. You gain 8 temporary hit points after casting a spell while in melee, and you'll see how easy this is to trigger. Boots of Gentle Striding, not impeded by difficult terrain. The Armour of Agility. Add a full Dexterity modifier to your armour class. Doesn't impose disadvantage on stealth checks, and saving throw +2. The Gloves of Belligerent Skies. When we deal thunder, lightning or radiant damage, we inflict 2 turns of reverberation. The Callous Glow Ring, where it deals initial 2 points of damage against creatures that are illuminated. The Corsecution Ring. When we deal spell damage while illuminated by a light source, we also inflict more radiating orbs. The Moondrop Pendant, so if we have 50% hit points or less, no opportunity attacks. The Sword of Chaos, amazing sword, I love this, probably my favourite two-handed weapon in the game, over Balduran's Giant Slayer. 9 to 22 damage, some of it's necrotic, and on a hit, we heal for 1 to 6 hit points. And finally, the Dead Shot, for the sole reason, the number you need to roll a critical hit while attacking is reduced by 1, so our crit number between this and the helmet is only 18. So that is a list of all my items for this build, let's go and test it out. Okay, as soon as you leave camp, the first thing you want to do is cast Light. And I'm going to cast it on our sword, just like that. And now this will illuminate enemies as we go through the fight. Okay, you can see we are in the battle, and we are 2nd in our team and 3rd overall in the turn order. And so our battle begins, and we're going to start with what I think you should do for most of the setups for this, and that would be to cast your spiritual weapon, as it's just an extra body on the battlefield. So we can do it at level 2, and we'll cast it down here. And it's kind of like a little mini summon for a class that really shouldn't have summons. So from there, we can now move in here and we'll start doing our attacks. And there you go, you see we got the reverberation. And again, and we healed for 4 hit points. Now as you can see, the enemy already has 4 points of reverberation, and they will take 1 to 4 thunder damage and possibly fall prone when they hit 5 turns of reverberation. And as you can see, they're a huge miss, and then only 15 damage. And at this point you can use your spiritual weapon to attack, if it hits. Now if you wanted to save your rage, or if you didn't want to use your first turn to do a spiritual weapon, what you could do is either Inquisitor's Might, now this only lasts for 2 turns, or you could do Divine Favour. So we'll start with Divine Favour, we'll do it at level 1. And you'll see we got those 8 temporary hit points because we're in melee, and because we now do extra radiant damage, more of our equipment will trigger. As you can see there, we managed a huge critical hit and killed them. And if we start closing the distance, we'll now attack the gentleman down here. And there you go, more damage, more reverberation, and you can really just start spreading this around the battlefield. But of course, what is a barbarian build without raging? This is probably what you're going to do most of the time on your first turn. I'm mostly just showing you your options, but that is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to start our magical rage. So, Wild Magic, Rage, and this will cause a random magical effect to trigger. And there you go. We had that last, which sucked all the magical health out of any living creature nearby. And then from here, we get to start swinging. Just like that. And really, we can continue this as we go all the way through. Just like that, spreading more reverberation, more healing, and it's perfect. Now, of course, once you have raged, that allows you to use your bonus action for our other abilities. For example, our Great Weapon Master attack if we kill the enemy, or our War Priest charges. So as an example, if we start here, huge strike, and there you go, one more strike on that one. Now what this will allow us to do is come over here, and we have great movement speed thanks to our level 6 Barbarian ability, and we have the option of doing our amazing bonus action. And if you really wanted to, instead of doing that, you could do your War Priest attack as a Divine Smite. So bear that in mind, you can use your War Priest charge to do a Divine Smite on your bonus action. Or you can do your bonus action Great Weapon Master. So let's start with this one. Now we could do Guided Strike or Reckless Attack. We're going to do Guided Strike. And there you go, we hit them again. Now please bear in mind you cannot do your Great Weapon Master and your War Priest on the same bonus turn, as I've just demonstrated here. As you see, our actions are wiped out. So you should really use your War Priest charge to coincide when you don't have the option to do a Great Weapon Master bonus action. And of course, we can Divine Smite while we are raging. Now how this works is because Smite is a class action, not technically a spell, even though it does use your spell slots. So you can be raging and still land these insane Divine Smites. Just like that, and as you see we managed a huge critical. And if we were to just do it again with a normal attack, there you go. Huge damage, 2 crits in a row. And what this means is if we were to come over here, we have the ability to do a Great Weapon bonus action again, if we wanted to. Or, if we had our War Priest charge available, we'd be able to use that. And we are able to come in here and finish the fight very easily. As such. So, that is my pretty crazy and very adaptable, with a lot of options, Barbarian build you can utilise. Now if you wanted to, you could switch your Dexterity and Wisdom scores, and you can really buff this out with your spells and stuff. The choice is really yours. You have a lot of adaptability and flexibility with this build, and I'm sure there's so many other ways you can improve upon it. So if you can think of a way, or if you know something, let me know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed, please drop the episode a like, it helps me amazingly. So subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.